Yes, we've had one adventure this week, but what about the second? Today, in Salty Nick's Tavern, a neat little quest where the party breaks into a zombie-infested lighthouse in order to steal the light that's been calling the undead from the sea. Brought to you by Salty Nick's Salty Soup, the best remedy for recuperating sailors stuck on land. The adventure is intended for low-level parties and inspired by the 5-room dungeon design. I made it as my second submission for Dungeon Jam 2025, and you can see everyone's entries in the playlist in the description. That's also where you'll find a PDF for this adventure. My first adventure was about 5 days of work, which isn't really the intention behind a 5-room dungeon formula. Skilled GMs can improvise theirs on the spot. So I wanted to make something simpler. I managed to make the PDF and the calligraphy for this one in one day, so if you haven't, I hope you give making yours a try as well. For your own use, it really can be a few bullet points on a sticky note. The Necromancer's Lighthouse has 5 distinct sections, each with their distinct problems, and it fits on just 2 pages. Let's have a look. By default, the PCs are a pirate crew looking to steal the lighthouse beacon and put it on their ship, hoping it will let them control the undead. The adventure works the same if instead it's a group of paladins looking to destroy it, or a wizard wanting to study it. The first section is the approach. They arrive at night, landing on a beach under the cliff with the lighthouse on top. The dead keep crawling out of the sea, so they'd better be quick. There's a narrow path leading up, with a few zombies along the way. The lighthouse itself is surrounded by a lot of zombies, too many to fight. The players need to think of something clever to make it past them and into the lighthouse. As a little side note, railroading is bad, but every adventure requires buy-in from the players to actually go on the adventure they signed up for and stick to the genre tropes. Here we assume they'll go into the lighthouse and climb it one level at a time, rather than scale the walls or fly to the top. If they do try climbing and thus risk bypassing the neatly laid adventure, have the walls start to leak something disgusting and corrosive. It shouldn't outright forbid them from doing so, but it's an encouraging nudge to take the stairs. Once inside, they find a room with lots of obvious traps. Thick tripwires, swinging axes, spring-loaded blades, that kind of thing. If moving slowly, they can disarm or bypass them, no dice required. But there's something else in the room with them. An angry poltergeist. It's going to mess with them, and anything they disarm, trigger or destroy, the poltergeist rebuilds and resets. The PCs don't have the time to do a proper cleansing ritual, so they'll just have to deal with it somehow. The area above this room is the wide open space of the staircase, leading to the top. The poltergeist slams the door behind them, which alerts the crew of pirate skeletons chilling near the top. They descend on swinging ropes like the swashbucklers they are, rattling their cutlasses and being flashy. Make them varied. Some fight with 2 blades, a big tanky one wields a broken mast, a clever one is operating an anchor like a wrecking ball. And of course, the ranged support is provided by a 3-headed monkey, who flings ectoplasmic goo at them. Once past the fight and near the top, the PCs find the last room completely sealed with arcane wards, and there's a colorful zombie parrot who asks from its perfectly safe position behind the wards, "What's the password?" The password, of course, is known only to the wizard in the basement. There was a cellar door they'd missed, which the parrot will let them know once they get stuck. It will also tell them 2 attempts left once they start guessing, leading up to it sounding the alarm. And yes, the PCs have to go through the poltergeist room again. The basement is our boss fight room. Here the necromancer known as Jesse Stitchbones, thanks to Misty Steps and the Bard's College for the name, is experimenting on zombies, trying to make them stronger. We have a straightforward fight with 3 or so big tough zombies and a wizard, all in the cramped space of this underground laboratory. All that is now left to do is to go to the very top, passing the poltergeist room of course, where the prize awaits. The magical lenses that turn any light into a lure for the undead. They will require careful disassembly and transport, but should be worth quite a lot to the right people. If you run the adventure, I'd love to hear how it went and just how much your players hate the poltergeist room. I'm Salty Nick, and I hope to see you again at the tavern.